This is a critical advance in technology. I just got a medical marijuana card for Washington, D.C. medical cannabis program. Patang! Yeah, so now I get to hang out here amongst the wildlife. There they come, like, oh, there they go, hey, hey. Anyways, cannabis. Thanks to my friends Steve and Cynthia. They get the Ivory Grace. Thank you, blessings, much love, peace and blessings. So before I went to jail, I lived right here behind me, inside the Peace Vigil. And this is the William Thomas Anti-Nuclear Peace Vigil. I think I took a little bit too much carte blanche in order in moving my stuff in here. However, had to do what I had to do at the beginning of last winter. Anyways, I was actually arrested, and then I was kept in jail for 98 days. And after I came out, I can't live here anymore, I'm told. So my stuff is in a safe place. I don't have a place to live, and I don't have any money. I don't have a job, and I don't have anybody asking me if I want to come live with them. So today will be my first day of learning how to be a beggar. I'm gonna find a good spot and go sit and beg. I'll let you know how it goes. And it's something I've tried not to do, something I've avoided. But you know what though? It seems like I've been hoping for a lot. I've been told certain things will come to me, like homeless shelter, maybe even housing. But it seems like every single thing that I've been told or hoped for has been let go. So the first thing I'm gonna do today, after I get myself together, is go find a good spot to be a beggar for the day and see how much money I make. A lot of people like to complain about people begging for assistance. People tell you to use the agencies and the services that are available. The agencies and the services that are available don't really do too much for homeless people. And I'll try again next week for that. However, I'm a hungry, poor man. And right now I still have food stamps, but those things can run out quickly. And I don't have a lot of prospects right now that I know of. So I'm gonna beg today. I'm gonna go sit somewhere with a little sign and say, please help me. See what happens. So this nice agency out here in Fairfax, Virginia offered to do case management for me. So I come out here for some case management to have the meeting. They actually handed me some paperwork that I filled out here actually the day that I got out of jail, which is the jail's right over past those trees. I filled out the same paperwork, talked to people, and then they said, oh, actually we can't help you because you're registered in DC. So I have my homelessness is registered at a homeless place in DC so that I could have a place to have my food stamps and my Medicaid. So now, because I have that registered in DC, I can't receive services out here. So again, the agency who I've talked to a couple of times here now says, oh, we can't help you. Anyways, so like now I have to go back into DC, and I just wish that people and agencies knew how to ask certain questions so they didn't waste people's time. And I know that people want to help other people, and I know that they're just trying to do what they do. However, I've given them no new information today. I told them when I had gotten out of jail, I didn't have any ID. My IDs were all in DC, and that I was homeless, etc., etc., etc. So I think what has to happen really, because they wasted their time, they wasted a slot on their schedule, you know, and I kept my disdain, my upsetness to myself. I mean, I said basically like, well, blah, 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 blah. Thank you. Goodbye. So like, if there really is a movement in this country, the United States of America, to help homeless people get back into housing and figure out their stuff, that's me. That's me asking for help here. And I'm in Fairfax County, which is where I grew up. Virginia, which is my quote-unquote home state. I served in human services an hour south of here in Fredericksburg for over a decade. I also worked for Spotsylvania County Schools for over a decade as an adult ESL instructor. I've done lots of different work in my life, lots of different work. And in my human services work, I've directly helped hundreds of people and indirectly helped thousands of people. And I've worked at the local and at the state level in re-entry services for returning citizens and in disability services for disabled individuals. Well, now I'm in Washington, D.C. looking at the federal things, and I'm trying to basically figure out a way to get myself a little bit back to normalcy. And unfortunately, what happens is every time a person like myself, and I've been homeless now for 3 years, every time a person like myself goes to an agency to get assistance where they've said they're going to assist you, and then they say no, after you fill out their paperwork for a second time, there seems to be a disconnect, really a real disconnect between the actual provision of services and the intention of the agencies who carry those services. And I get it. Then again, I sure don't. And I'm not getting services from these folks here, right here in this building, because they failed again to look at the details of my case until I've come out here now for the third time. And I just don't understand why people in leadership positions continue to let stupid mistakes happen continuously in human services. Because unfortunately, like any other industry, doesn't really matter like this, but when you're serving human beings who are suffering and you don't even pay attention to small details so that they have to travel and walk hours to waste their time, you really need to take a look at what you're doing as a human service provider. I'm not so sure that I believe in this industry anymore, if I ever did. When I worked in it, I saw so many problems. I saw government officials treat people with severe disabilities like crap. I watched people say things that are smug behind people's backs. And I watched people who work in the human services disability industries vote for a president who insulted a quadriplegic reporter. I don't really care for most people, honestly. And I don't really care for most agencies, because most of them are just padding their pockets, and most of them are just making themselves feel good and stand up well and feel good about themselves the other day and go ho 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 ho, so they could tell their friends what they do. But in reality, every single time you fail somebody, you failed thousands. You failed the entire universe. And I'll tell you something. This is kind of like those agencies that passed out lists when I was down in Tampa, Florida. They passed out lists of where you could get food. And half the places I went to didn't even exist. So these agencies create all these great little ideas, and they don't actually do very much at all. And again, I've been failed again. Hey, check out this old footage. At least I got that. Peace. Yeah, later.